When you think of Istanbul, you probably think of this large city, which is both Eastern and Western, of 20 million people, that's very busy with cars and motorcycles going beep, 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 and people hustling around. But if you arrive by cruise ship, let me take you on a different experience. In 1895, the original pier was built at the port. The passenger hall was started in 1905 and completed in 1911, and it had a very large hall for first-class passengers and a smaller one for second and third-class passengers, which I thought would be the largest number of people. It then became a post office, and here in this photo you can see the gray roof of that building, which still exists today. They have now redesigned the whole port area, and all the terminal operations, passenger and luggage handling, passport control, are all located underground in this massive 29,000 square meters section. And the top has been rebuilt, including the post office, which today houses a lot of shopping. The old passenger terminal and post office has today been transformed into a very upmarket shopping center, which has obviously a Turkish rug shop, because where else would you find that? It has a large number of jewelry shops, which all look to be very top end, and you could buy diamonds or anything. There were clothing shops, and it was really quite magnificent. There are places to eat inside the shopping center, and outside there's a tremendous array of restaurants and eateries. Being in Turkey, we obviously had to see some Turkish delight, so we stopped in a candy store or sweet store, depending on what country you're from, and there was this huge array. They gave us free samples. We quite quickly decided on a couple that we wanted, and the shop assistant, who didn't speak any English, but with pointing and tasting, we managed to get our idea across, and she packaged up some goodies for us. Ian decided to try some Turkish coffee, and it came on a wooden plaque with a small bowl of very hot, quite strong coffee, a treat, and some water to wash it down. He enjoyed it and said it was quite different from his normal cappuccinos. We came across a Starbucks, which these days seem to be in every modern city. There was even a Burger King and a Popeyes, which are American brands that we found. Let me emphasize, we are still within the port area, and to come into this area from the city, you have to go through screening where you put your bags and phones through an x-ray, and you walk through just like at the airport, a thing that checks that you don't have anything that would cause a problem. So although it is bustling with people, it is very secure. In this area there is a stunning clock tower that you can see here, which dates from the 19th century and is quite stunning. Next to it is a very modern sculpture. Next to the clock tower is a very modern sculpture by an American artist called Jankuzi, which shows the torrid times of COVID and modern civilization. Walking outside of the security gates, and still close to the port, but just outside, is this magnificent fountain, which was built in 1696 by the then Sultan, and this became quite a unifying area in the Ottoman age as the people came down to collect their water each day or as frequently as they needed it. Next to it is a quite stunning mosque, which was built in 1587, and you can see a model which is just inside the mosque of the building, and it has lovely colonnades and is really quite beautiful. You need to wear a headscarf, and all people entering the mosque need to take off their shoes. Walking a bit further, we start to discover we're in an industrialish type center. You've got engines that are being sold on the street. There is a shop that sells chemistry or chemical things for mixing chemicals, which I found quite interesting. What will be unusual is that next door to an industrial, there's someone who has a little cafe, or maybe just a few little tables and chairs on the side selling coffee and a few little snacks. And then next door, you'll see someone selling oils for engines and sewing machines. So it's really quite unusual. Then when it's time to return to the cruise ship, you just follow the signs once you get past security to the cruise ship terminal. And it's very well signposted. There are lots and lots of signs outside once you've gone through the secure area and you follow the signs. The one thing we would say is that it is a very, very long walk. There are escalators as you go down in underground, because as I said earlier, all of the port is underground. And everything's quite signposted, whether you are leaving the cruise terminal and it tells you where the city center taxis are, or whether you're coming back and it points out where your ship is. As you're underground, there's this motif which follows you down the long corridors. Ian mentioned that it was the paths of ships and boats, and I thought, oh, when I saw it, I initially thought it might be something from a biology lesson. From a cruise ship, you don't need a passport, but your ship access card works electronically on these. I think they code them for each of the ships as they come in, so it's quite simple to walk through and into the more secure area before you go through a security. And similar to an airport, there's a duty-free area where you buy goods such as perfumes, alcohol, etc. without any taxes. As the whole terminal area is underground and it's very large, it is quite a long walk down long corridors to find your boat. There's no confusion because it's well signposted, but you keep walking and walking and walking. And I would say it took a good 10 minutes to walk through the corridors to get to the ramp that goes up, and then finally we could see our boat. When we told some people on the cruise ship that we had explored by ourselves, they were really shocked and they said, oh, we'd only go with an excursion because we were too scared to leave the boat. I hope this has changed your mind and you can see what a modern port it is at Galataport, and that it has a lot of shopping and eating, and that you too get off your cruise ship. Remember, it is a long walk all the way outside, but it's well worth it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much.